Come on in, come on up, come on over for the merriest time of year. Come on up, come on in, get together for a good time. Smile, my dear. Come on in, come on up, come on over. We'll be dancing round the tree. So let us have a swinging Christmas, just like 1, 2, 3. We know the time is short, we blink and then it's gone. So we better make the most of what we've got. So take your neighbor by the hand and join the dance parade before the clock strikes and it's all too late.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. So it's the wrap-up party, but it's not really the wrap-up party because next Saturday, if you don't already know this, you should probably know this by now, but if you don't, next Saturday, so July 22nd, we're going to reopen all of the presentations. So every single day will be available for 24 hours, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time next Saturday. So it'll run from 9 a.m. on Saturday to 9 a.m. on Sunday. So you will have one more day to watch any of the presentations that you missed because of all the technical nightmares that we had during this summit, which I apologize for profusely. The whole refresh thing is a mystery. I think most people were finally able to get in today. That's very strange and not a thing from us. So it's just a weird thing with, I don't know, web pages not refreshing correctly. But then next week you have another day. So hopefully you didn't miss too much and you can get whatever you missed on that day. So anybody who missed things on Thursday, I know a lot of people were sad that they missed Emily's box and Janet's shadow box. You can see that next Saturday. And I'll send out an email this week about that, and I'll send out the printable schedule again. I won't update the information on it, but you'll be able to see which topics are available. And then there's also a planning sheet, so you can at least keep track of which ones you definitely want to make sure you see. So, yay! Hopefully that'll be good. So we'll have one more day of the fantastic Cricut Joy Summit, right? Well, I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I hope you learned something new. I hope you're going to try out some things you didn't know you could do with your Joy. Oh, thanks, Donna. She says, thank you, Elena, all the crafters, presenters, and all those behind the scenes that made this Create with Cricut Joy a wonderful experience. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's a lot of hard work. So I really appreciate that. I know not everyone was super happy, but I think the vast majority of you guys were, and I really, really appreciate that. And you've been so kind for the vast majority. So I really, really appreciate that. That's unusual. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, now we have a lot. I'm wearing my Santa hat because I get to give away presents today. So we have a lot of presents to get through. So I don't know. Should we start off with that? Just get right into it. Does anybody have any questions I need to answer before we just get to the fun stuff? I think everybody's just waiting for the fun stuff, right? Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. All right, so I'm going to get right into the prizes. So the way this is going to work is the giveaways were all sponsored by one of the speakers or a company or me. So you will be contacted by the person who sponsored the giveaway. As it says on the email, on the banner down here, by next weekend. I would imagine it would be probably tomorrow in all likelihood, but hard for me to know for sure. And some of the people question, when is the next one? Oh, Debbie, you're pushing me. All right, maybe that's a question I should ask everybody. Do you want another Cricut Joy Summit? and I don't think I can do more than one a year. So is July a good time, or should we shift it to a different time of year? I am also thinking very seriously about doing like a multi-brand summit. So there would be projects for Cricut, Scan and Cut, and Silhouette, and possibly like Caesar, Juliet too. In another summit in the spring, like March, April is kind of what I'm thinking. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, not when others are on. Yeah, I see that from Judy. Oh, I know, because there's so many now that the nice thing is that a lot of us know each other, and so a lot of us try to coordinate so we don't overlap too much or compete, kind of thing. So hopefully it won't be too crowded. And I'm seeing Nikki here. How about in January? I can't do January. Sorry. It takes so long to put this together. And as I learned doing this one, I need longer. Like I had about 3 months, and I probably need 6, honestly. Because, you know, if you're just doing it really by yourself, which is what I did. So Susan helped me a lot towards the end. Hopefully the rumors are true. Cricut is coming out with a new machine, and we could. That's what I have heard too. I don't know the specifics on it, but I have seen the little the teaser that we will have a new Cricut. So maybe. But I personally have a lot of like Scan and Cut people in my following, and I was originally a Scan and Cut person back here. My blue machine way back there. So I kind of was thinking it'd be fun to have some other machines other than Cricut in a summit, because you know some people get left out. So Judy, February's always a down month. February, I had been thinking about February. Shelly Ontis is having a good one in January, kind of similar to that concept. February might be pushing it, but I'll see what I can do. What about March? Would March work? March is my birthday month. Maybe we could do that. Yeah, see, I see Silhouette also. Yep, that's my plan. So we'd have Cricut, Silhouette, and Scan and Cut, definitely. And maybe, you know, if I can fit in a couple of the other ones, but definitely the big 3 for sure. So if you guys have thoughts about that or opinions, leave it in the comments. Make a comment, and I will read all those. And sort of it'll be like an informal poll. Happy early birthday! Very, very early, like almost a year from now. Oh, I like so. Here's Aaron's probably annoyed because I'm reading the comments. I see that you're saying. I see Creativity Playground is saying it'd be cool to have a summit with multiple machines, and that's the idea. Yeah. Just make sure you have workshops. Right, exactly. And that's what I'm thinking. So we won't have, you know, it'll be a Scan and Cut workshop and a Cricut workshop. And hopefully like we could do ones for the different Cricut machines, you know, have like Cricut Joy project, and then probably a sewing project for Scan and Cut, as well as a stamping project. And, you know, Silhouette can have different ones too. So, you know, we could do like the normal 12-inch size, and then like the 24-inch size with Silhouette and all that kind of stuff. So that is my next project, I think. So, and I also have if you want to follow me, which I love, you know, I will be in a lot of the upcoming summits this fall. So I will be in Brandy's Card Maker Success Summit in August. I will be in Abby's Cricut Craft Fest in, I believe it's October. Bet is having a holiday craft for Cricut makers. I think that's October also. Jamila Payne is having one in December. I'll be in that one. Shelly has one in January. I'll be in that one. And I feel like I'm leaving somebody out, but there are lots of fun summits coming. So hopefully, you know, you'll have plenty to keep you crafty. Yeah. I wish there was a master list. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? So secretly, here's a little crafty secret. Behind the scenes, there's a group that Brandy started, actually, where we all kind of share information about our summits. And she actually has an Excel spreadsheet where everybody puts their dates on. And that's how we know not to plan our summits at the same time. Doesn't always work because not everyone is in that group, obviously, but we do our best to try to keep them from being too right on top of each other. But it doesn't always work, as you know, because like Abby had her Paper Flower Fest right before mine, you know, but those were two totally different things. So, you know, they were both fun, I hope, but, you know, hopefully it wasn't too, we didn't eat into each other too much, I don't think. So, you know, we do our best in our little crafty community to try to space them out. So that's kind of nice. Okay. So that's enough about me. Now let's get to the fun prizes, okay? So but I will say I'm 99% sure I will do another Cricut Joy Summit. It's just a matter of what time of year. So, and I probably don't want to do holiday again, although I am such a Christmas person that I could do holidays in July for the rest of my life and be happy. So you guys tell me, just leave me some comments and I'll look it over and that'll help me make a decision. All right, so prize time. So our first prize is a Cricut Joy machine brought to you by Amy Romeo. So I don't have, some people I have more information than others, so we're going to try to hopefully make it so that you know who won. So the winner, drum roll please, of the Cricut Joy from Amy Romeo is Brenda L. from Texas, from Houston, Texas. And I will give, and the clue is your name is your Gmail. Okay, and so you'll be contacted by Amy, emailed probably, to let you know about and to find out how you want to get it and that kind of stuff. She'll set up you getting your prize. Yay! The next prize is from Shelly Antis. It is a 12-month pass to her SVG club. So that means you get access to all of the SVGs that she has, and that's a lot and pretty awesome. So the winner of that is Angela C. And my clue is you have a number that in your email address that I'm guessing might be your birth year. Maybe it is my birth year, but I'm not going to say what that is. Okay. Now I've got 3 winners to announce for the Card Maker Success Summit. You're going to get a VIP pass to the Card Maker Success Summit in August. So that's pretty cool. So winner number 1. Now for this, all I have are emails and locations. So we're going with the winner number 1. Your email starts with PD and you are from Virginia. Erin, where's my CMSS? Here we go. PD is the beginning of your email, and you are from Virginia. Winner number 2. Your email starts with LP, and you are from California. It looks like both of you, both PD and LP, I think those are your kind of initials in your last name. And then the third person is EM from Michigan. So also, I believe it is your initials and your last name in your email address. So Brandy will contact you to get you set, or actually Harriet, who works with Brandy, will probably be the one to contact you to let you know that you're a winner. Okay, now from Emily Miner, we've got her course, Photo Crafting with a Cricut. Seems like a really, really fun class. Probably gonna learn a lot of cool stuff from Emily because you saw that project she made if you got to see it. But you can see it on Saturday if you didn't. Really fun. So, and I actually recognize the name of this person because you have been in a lot or practically all of the live streams. So the winner is Susan T. And I do believe you are here today. I think I saw your name. All right. Now we have 3 winners of a $20 gift card for Aaron Reed Makes. So Aaron, give me winner number 1. $20 gift card to Aaron's shop. That's pretty cool. Tamara E from New York. Yay! Who's winner number 2? Winner number 2. Linda D from Georgia. So Aaron will be contacting you guys. We got one more winner from Aaron. So $20 gift card for the Aaron Reed Makes store. Winner number 3 is Paulette S from Texas. So you'll be hearing from Aaron probably very shortly. Then 3 winners of a seat in Jamila Payne's Design Magic SVG and Sublimation course, that's pretty nice. I've got first names really only, and then I'll give you a hint. So first winner is Diane. Diane, your email also has a state hyphen or state abbreviation in it, possibly. Winner number 2 is Ardith. Ardith, you also have, I'm guessing, your husband's name in your email. And third winner is Tamara. And you have an animal as your end of your email. I'm giving you, it's like the mystery. It's the mystery course. All right. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, so a private Cricut design space lesson. So 2.5 hours on a Zoom with Monique Leslie, who's a great teacher. The winner of that is Donna T. Donna T. And you have a euphemism for a human body part, which I think is also an abbreviation of your last name, in your email. That's a little mysterious. I probably shouldn't have phrased it that way, but okay. Next prize, a Justine Hovey VIP 1-year membership. So that means you're going to get access to her monthly card making classes. I'm like kind of reading the descriptions down here. She's got card making tutorials, all of her card making courses. That's pretty impressive, as well as her technique resource binder. You get access to all of that stuff for 1 year. The winner of that is Mary F. Mary F. And you have probably a nickname, I'm guessing, as your email address. So Justine will contact, told me she'd contact you tomorrow. And she's in Germany, so she's 8 hours ahead. So she's asleep right now. So Mary F. Okay. Next prize. We've got from Katie Adams with the Crafty Blog Stalker. She's giving away a $25 gift card to her store and a Cricut Joy tote. So that's pretty fun. I don't have a tote. That's nice. So the winner of that is Ellie. Ellie. I don't really I'm guessing that your address, your email address is your first initial and your last name. That's my guess. So Katie will be contacting you for that. So that's pretty fun. I hope you've got a Joy to put in that tote. And if you don't, you need to get one. Ooh, this one's good. Okay, so this is a 1-year Cricut Access Premium membership from Christy Stone. That is going to Julie J. Julie J. And I would guess, Julie, that your email is possibly your business name. So hopefully that'll come in handy for your business. That's pretty. That's a nice prize. I mean, they're all great prizes, right, guys? It's kind of fun. Okay, so the winner of a spot in Jav Sid's SVGs on Desktop SVG designing course, so you'll get more experience with Affinity Designer. That should be good. Is Kathleen N. And you have a candy bar, which is probably a nickname, as part of your email. So she will contact you via email as well. And remember, she's in Australia, so time difference there is a little strange. It's early morning there now. Okay, next prize is from Sean Mosh. It is one spot in her Master Your Cricut and Teach Me Cricut Design Space online course. So that's awesome. That is going to Lucy. Lucy with an I. Yeah, Cricut Design. So Master Your Cricut and Teach Me Cricut Design Space online course. Lucy with an I. You also have a year in your email address that I'm guessing might be your birth year, possibly. Okay, the Cricut mug press. Now this is coming from me, which I hope you want. Like, the Cricut mug press is fun. We didn't have any mug press projects this time, which is too bad. Maybe next time we will. But it's still fun. And you can use infusible ink with it easily, like what Katie showed in her project, as well as sublimation designs if you have a sublimation printer. Anyway, enough about that. That is going to Christina S. Christina S. in Indiana. And you have the beginning of the city you live in as part of your email, I believe. So, Christina S., you'll be getting an email from me tomorrow to let you know you won the mug press. All right, now these are the three like really big prizes as we come to the end. So the first really big prize is from Bet at Bet's Makes. This is the Super Joy bundle. So you're getting a bunch of Cricut Joy supplies, tools. You're getting the Cricut lamp, at least one. I think it might be both lamps, I believe. That's pretty cool. So that is going to Dorothy. And Dorothy, you have an unusual pet as your as your email address. Is the beginning of it anyway. So hopefully that clues you into who you are, because it's definitely an unusual email address. Okay, so the HTV Ront Auto Heat Press. Now this is being given to you by HTV Ront. This is real. I have one. It's over here. Can't see it. I really like it. That's pretty awesome. That is going to Kristen with a K from Texas. And I don't know what. You also have a year in your email address. I'm guessing it's a graduation year, maybe, possibly. Not sure. But I will contact you about that to get your shipping information, and then HTV Ront will send it to you. So that's pretty cool. And then the big prize from our major sponsor, which was Creative Fabrica, and hopefully you guys saw in the Facebook group all the fun free bundles that they were providing as well during the summit. They are also giving away a Cricut Joy. So the Cricut Joy from Creative Fabrica goes to Rhonda from Illinois. And you have a car brand in your email address. So you will also be hearing from me to get your information, and I'll be giving that to Creative Fabrica. So congratulations, everybody! Yay! Hopefully some of the winners are here, I'm hoping. Should be really fun, and it's been a really great summit, and that's a nice way to cap it off with some Christmas in July prizes. Yay! Oh, I see one of the winners is in the comments here, probably more than that. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap it up, guys. It's been super fun. I'm so glad that you guys have joined us, that you've been here, that you've had a good time, that you've been so nice about the technical difficulties we've had. I have learned a lot, so I can promise you that the next one should not have some of the problems that we had this time. The website going down was definitely on our end. The refresh thing is a weird mystery. But so I look at it as like we had a little Cricut Joy adventure maybe this weekend. And so remember, we are also going to open everything back up. So all of the presentations from all 4 days will be available to watch for another 24 hours on Saturday, July 22nd. So this coming Saturday from 9 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday morning to 9 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday morning. So hopefully that will give everybody enough time to see anything that you might have missed. So any more questions that I can answer, or are we ready to wrap it up and say Merry Christmas in July, or holidays in July, really? Thanks, everybody. I am so grateful to all of you for being here and being so supportive and just making this a really, really fun event. I'm going to leave the Facebook group open forever. So if you make things that you learned here, please post them. If you make things that you didn't learn here, please post them. We love to have projects. And if you have questions about the Cricut Joy or Cricut Design Space or anything, we can, hopefully we can all help each other. What is the song we listened to while we were waiting? It is called, what's it called, Aaron? Why can't I remember the name of that song? It's like something like the friendliest time of year. I think it's called the friendliest time of year.
Sorry. Yes, it's the friendliest time of year.
Yeah.
I spent hours hunting for a good song, and I found that, and I just kept dancing to it, and I'm still dancing to it every single time. So
I know it's like it's got like it sticks in your head.
It does. Totally. Yeah, I try to find something happy but Christmassy. It works.
Yeah.
Yay!
So yeah, the friendliest time of year. Yay!
It was a good one.
This was a pretty friendly time of year too.
It was. So they are just blasting the comments with how much they love everything that you've done. And I will echo that. It was a fabulous, like behind the scenes, working with everybody. You have rocked it. Congratulations. You are amazing. You've done nothing but wonderful things. I'm going to put my little congratulations cap on for a second. So you did great.
If anybody was here the other day, I'm a crier. So you guys are seriously, I'm going to start crying because it's so sweet. Thank you.
Oh, she should do it again. Yes.
No, I'm gonna breathe so I don't start just throwing the tears everywhere. So, all right.
All right. I'll find that again.
I could not have done it without you, Aaron, or any of the speakers. Like, I really want to thank all of the speakers. You guys are amazing. You get this, like anybody who didn't buy the VIP pass, you get this stuff for free, and that's totally great. I mean, we do this so that you are able to do that. But the amount of time and work that goes into like even one speaker's project is a lot. So, it's depending on what they make, it can take an entire week just to do, the video shooting, the photos, creating the design, writing the instructions, they put all that together. And then I combine it into like one area. But each one of those speakers did all of that. And so I just want to make sure that everybody knows how much work that is and how grateful I am to all of them for doing that for me and for you guys.
All right. And I'm going to back out because there's a couple of questions, but I'm going to back out and do my producer hat again and let you guys answer questions that are coming up. So bye-bye, everybody.
I also want to
thanks so much for being here.
Quick shout out to Susan Gilbert, who was a huge help to me. Yeah, huge. And my husband, who also helped, Alex. He's not around. He will not come on camera. But both of those guys, and Susan especially, was a huge help with the support email as well as the Facebook group. So I could not have done it without her. So big shout out to her as well. All right, so bring on the questions. Whatever at the end here I can answer. Do you have to have Bluetooth to use? Yes, you do. You do have to have Bluetooth to use the Joy, unfortunately. It doesn't, like, there are no buttons on it. So that's a little bit odd. So you have to really run the whole thing through Cricut Design Space. And one of my only criticisms about the Joy is that, like, you have to literally unplug it for it to turn off. So just keep that in mind, because otherwise it'll just stay on all the time. How about next one we learn how to use Joy with our phones? Yeah, that's a good idea. I know that Shelly showed how to use the Joy app. So hopefully you got a little bit of app experience with that. I'm not a big app user, but I need to be better at it because I know a lot of you guys are. And so and it's a really different interface than Design Spaces. So I mean, even though it's similar, but things aren't always in the same place. So that's a good point. And all of us Cricut people should make an effort to try to include the app. Oh, and Janet did hers on the app too. So I will keep that in mind for next time. Definitely, that's good feedback. Thank you. Any other questions? Sounded like there were a bunch. Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm already on mute. Sorry, just a couple, but I wanted to give you full screen for that one.
Thanks.
Put you on the spot.
Great. All right, let's bring on the next question.
Does anybody have any more questions? Yeah, I keep on saying bring on the questions. That's like my go-to phrase. So you guys have seen me say that a lot.
How will we, I see one. How will we find the links for next Saturday's replays? So it's going to be the same schedule page.
There it is.
That everybody had for this go around. If you are still experiencing problems getting that page to refresh properly, please email us at support@createwithcricketjoy.com. I have a list of things that I've been sending people to try, and they must be working because I haven't had anybody email back and say that they still couldn't get in. So I think we've kind of gotten it down to the few things that may be causing the issue. A big one, let me just say it right now, is restart your router. That seems to be one that's helping a lot of people. So if you're not getting that page to refresh properly, try that. And the way you can check that is actually like if you go on your phone and you try to load the page using your Wi-Fi and it's still wrong, and then you turn off your Wi-Fi and you load the page using your data plan on your phone and it does load properly, restart your router. That should fix it for you. But I will also send out an email, of course, and I will also post it in the Facebook group. So if you're in the Facebook group, I'll have it pinned to the top. I probably will post it Wednesday would be my guess. It won't be like first thing this week just because I'm very tired. How do we choose our presenters? I chose people that I either already knew or had already seen in other summits. And some people I didn't know at all. Like I didn't know Jamila before this at all. I didn't know Amy. I think of other people I didn't know at all. I didn't know Debbie. Debbie's out there. And so some of it is just like research. Like you go and you find people that you like, that you see on YouTube or TikTok or things like that, and you email them. And sometimes they will say yes, and sometimes they ignore you. So, you know. And then certain people will in this sort of crickety community are very generous with their time and their contacts. So, you know, I had some different people help me, like Brandy helped me quite a bit. Bet helped me with speakers, and Jen Swift, who was not a speaker for me this time because it didn't work, she helped me too. So she hooked me up with Emily, which was awesome. And I didn't know her before, and she was fantastic. And Debbie, again, also, I think Debbie, I found you through Brandy, I think. I hope, I'm not sure. So there's a variety of ways that we find people. And a lot of times with the way summits are being there's so many now, it's tough to especially with people who are fairly big names, which I'm not, but say someone like Abby Kirsten or the Bearded Housewife, for example, or like Sarah Edwards, you got to get on their calendar a year ahead of time. for them to be a speaker for you. So, and it's starting to be like that for a lot of people, I think, because there's only so many projects you can do as a speaker and still have your regular stuff, and I really struggle with that because I'm a slow creator and I like to do really good projects for summits. So, it's a little bit of a give and take there. But that's a little more behind the scenes info. Are there engraving designs in Design Space? Boy, that is a great question. I have actually never looked. Maybe, because they do have an engraving tool for the Maker. I'm not so sure about that. I talked a little bit during my live stream today about how you can actually turn something into, like in Design Space, there's kind of a workaround you can use to create the engraving lines that you need. That's like the fill of whatever the design is by doing a negative offset, just like over and over and over to fill in the design. So that's something you can do and experiment with. It's a little tricky because doing the fill properly is probably the hardest part, as far as like getting the line spacing right, where it's not so wide apart that you can really see the lines, and not so close that it takes forever to engrave something. And the smaller you go, the longer it's going to take, because it just takes, it has to draw every single line. So bear that in mind with the engraving. Hopefully you guys are going to try it. I would love to see some engraving projects from the Joy, or as we found out, the Explore, or the Explore series machines has a version. Will you post it to YouTube for those of us who don't do Facebook? I will. How about I post it on my blog? I'll do a post about the extra day this week, and you'll be on, if you signed up, you're on the email list, so you will also get an email about it for sure. Probably get more than one, because you'll definitely get one before this weekend, and you'll get one on Saturday too. Oh, I see Bethany's in the comments. Okay. Oh, is there a font that utilizes the hash marks needed for engraving? Not that I know of, unfortunately. There may be now. Like, I would say do a search on places like Creative Fabrica or Design Bundles. There are probably like sets of SVGs that you can buy that are already set up for engraving, where people have done the fill for you. And then there are also people who give away like free things with fill already done. Like, I know Abby Kirsten has at least one, if not several, different SVGs with engraved fill already in them. Jen Swift, who I keep talking about, her email is wellcraftedstudio.com, I believe. She is like the engraving expert. Like, she's got a course, she's got a book, I think. She knows everything about it. And so check out her website too, because she has a lot of, she probably has some free stuff as well as some really good like training and other information just about the whole engraving deal, if that makes sense. Anything else? Like, awkward pause. No, I did not say that the summit was offering a coupon from HTV Ron. Sorry, no. They just gave us the auto heat press to give away. So we don't have a coupon for HTV Ron, unfortunately. They make my favorite sticker paper, printable sticker paper for, like, I have a video on my YouTube channel about how to print the print and cut hack that you can use for the Joy. That I actually did for HTV Ront. And so there's one for where I did it for the Maker, and then I've got another one that's specifically about the workaround for the Joy, that could be helpful, especially if you missed Emily's her like explanation of it. So that's one of my highest rated videos. People like it, so it must be pretty good, I guess. But that's a fun thing to do with the print and cut. Can we use SVGs designed for lasers that might work well with the engraving tool? Yeah, that's possible for sure. Because it's the same, it's a similar concept. I mean, like SVGs for lasers basically are the same thing, where you're just laser cutting those lines. So yeah, I would think that would work for sure. Sometimes, you might want to check like how they might be really slow to make, just because laser cutters are or laser engravers are so much faster than like the manual, little tools on these machines. So you might need some patience with that, just to warn you, potentially. But it's worth a shot. I mean, my philosophy is you need to play, you need to have fun, you need to experiment. Like, get some inexpensive like materials and just try stuff. And you're gonna mess up, and as long as it's not too expensive, it won't be that financially devastating to just make a bunch of mistakes and just learn and keep going. What was the sticker paper? It is the HTV printable sticker vinyl. They have glossy and matte and clear, all of which work very, very nicely. Like, I love it. And it comes with like a lamination, like a few lamination sheets to make however many you want waterproof. But honestly, it's pretty, I mean, I wouldn't put it on a car without the lamination, but like, I made Christmas stickers with it in both of the videos, and I dunked them in water just to see what would happen. And I have an inkjet printer, and they were fine. Like, they even dried out and were totally fine. So, well, they didn't really get wet, I guess. I mean, the water just kind of ran off of them. So it's great. I wouldn't, again, it's not for outdoors, but anything else, I think it's pretty awesome. And the clear is really nice too. Okay. Anybody? Are we good on questions? Are we ready to say goodbye?
I don't see any more. So, okay. There's another. You wait 2 seconds. There's another question.
Oh, yeah.
You have to decide if you're going to keep going or cut it off.
Bethany, I see, is asking, what printer do I prefer for sticker printing? I have a Canon Pixma printer that I use for like printing. It's kind of designed for photos. I think it was when I got, it's the one I have is, I'm sure, no longer made, because I bought it years ago, and it was like back when I was doing scrapbooking, and I wanted like a really high quality photo printer. So it's a photo printer, but it does it's got like, and it's a 6 color ink tanks. It's an inkjet printer, and it does a phenomenal job. Like, I have no complaints about anything as far as anything it's ever printed, especially when I get the right paper going with it, And then I actually hacked a Epson EcoTank for a sublimation printer that I will finally, like, I did one video about doing HTV into glitter, which is like what Bethany did in her project. And so I'm gonna hopefully, like, in the next couple of weeks, use my auto heat press, my HTV and do sublimation into Easy Subli. And then also HTV has a clear vinyl that you can sublimate into. So I'm going to try that too. So we'll some sublimation experiments coming up soon. And that EcoTank, I do a good job. Is your desk... Oh, Loretta, you have no idea. No, that desk is never that clean. Are you kidding me? And if you could see like what's over here or even behind this, oh no. Or on the floor. Yeah, no. I have a very small space. It's not quite as small as Beth's, as she was demonstrating today in her live stream, but it's pretty small. It's like 10 by 12, I think. And I'm packed full of stuff. So it's a mess. Where did the name Black Sheep 303 come from? So I might change that, you guys. Maybe I can get some feedback on this. So I'm the black sheep of my family. So that's where the black sheep part comes from. 303 is the area code for Denver. And then creative was because I didn't want to necessarily limit it to like a specific, I used to be an interior designer and I used to do web design. So I didn't want to limit it to like one specific type of creative endeavor. So that's how all four of those words got put together. Then recently there was a controversial decision from the Supreme Court that was brought to them by a company called 303 Creative, which is also in Denver. So that's why we both have that coincidentally in our names. But that's not me. And when that came out, when that decision came out, I actually got some pretty threatening messages because people were assuming because if you search for it, like 303 Creative Denver, my business comes up. So people weren't paying attention and they assumed that I was that business. And so that's why I have a lot of stuff splashed all over my social media saying that I am not that business. So I have been considering changing it to Black Sheep Creates. What do you guys think? I would like to do Black Sheep Creative, but that's already taken by a company in Austin, Aaron. You need to go talk to them for me.
I'm gonna go, come on.
Give me your name.
That was my first thing. Just drop the 303 part. Sorry, the dogs are going nuts.
But I can't. And then I checked all the social, because you want all your social media handles to match, and that's taken all across the board. So
yeah, business hack right here. Before you decide to change your name, and check, and now Thread too. Thread, just like check everything to see if it's available. Because the last thing you want is to go and do all the other social medias, and there's one that you have to put a dot in the middle of it or something. Yeah, so always check.
Instagram, I'd have to put a dash, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, but even then. But the black sheep is you. You want to keep that because that's very unique. Exactly. That's cool.
And the creative part is me.
Black Sheep Creates. So yeah, that's all right.
That's why I was going with Black Sheep Creates. I don't know. What do you guys think? But we're probably getting into
101 creative. Oh, that's
on this live stream.
It's a change on the numbers.
Black Sheep 101.
Yeah, because like you always take like a 101 course.
Advanced beyond 101. I don't know. And like the 303 was part of like Denver, for me. So I'm not sure. It's not a terrible student. Maybe I could come up with a different version. 555. I don't know.
You could do the Jenny's phone number. What is it?
Yeah, right. 8675309. We're dating ourselves, Aaron.
It's a good song. Come on. Everybody else was thinking it too. Come on. Don't tell me everybody else was not just singing that song at the same time we just had Jenny's number. Cool.
I don't know. Anyone born after 2000 probably doesn't know what that
is. Might not know it. I will say that.
Do your kids know it? All right, we're kind of getting
I don't know.
It's your guys. I'm probably boring you to death. So, any other questions? I'm happy. You throw anything at me, I'll answer it. If I haven't explained, like was originally a card maker blog, like traditional card making, stamps and inks and all that good stuff. And then I transitioned over to electronic cutting machines in the end of 2020. I took a break from my blog for like a couple of years and then posted. Oh, that's a good idea. Post it as a poll. I should do that, Susan. That's a good suggestion. That's okay. I think I might do that. So I know a lot about Black Sheep Crafts. Yeah, no, I mean, I looked into that one, and that's actually my handle for like a lot of my, Black Sheep 303 Crafts is like what my handle is for almost all of my social media, except for Instagram, because Instagram's the first one I did. And then when I went to do the other ones, YouTube won't let me do just Black Sheep 303, even though nobody has that. I don't know why that is. They forced me to put a word on the end. I guess I'm not sure I want to limit it to just craft. I don't know. It's a weird, how our brains work. It's sort of like, it just has to feel right. I'm a feeler, so it has to feel right to me. But I primarily design cards that you can kind of see behind me. So usually in summits, I'm doing card projects, although in coming up, I won't be doing quite so many card projects. So I like to, like Brandy talked a little bit in her live stream, if you were on that, about Cricut cards sort of seeming flat versus more traditional cards. And so I try to hopefully make Cricut cards more fun so that they don't seem flat. I'm a like to layer things a lot so that pieces all layer together and it's fairly easy to put together. Sometimes it's a little bit intricate and you got to get that Fairly Arts glue with the tiny tip, but so that it's beginner friendly, but also has like a more depth to it than some things like insert cards, because a lot of those, some of those are great, but there are quite a few that are pretty plain. And when you come from traditional card making background, plain is never enough. So I like to add, and I've done things where like I will add traditional card making touches onto things like insert cards to really make them look a lot more special. Thinking about putting a class together for that, if you guys are interested. Oh yeah, so I see somebody mentioning my dragon. So the dragonfly, wait, it's backwards right there. That I did for Abby Kirsten's Craft Fest in the spring. That is now for sale on my Etsy shop. It's a 3D dragon. I could probably grab it. You guys want to see it? So like this, you know, all of this is really just cut out paper except for the, oh boy, see, I'm really backwards. I added a little marker to the lily pads, but other than that, you know, it's just cut paper put together. And I think, and then we have the 3D dragonfly with some holographic clear paper and the wings. But see, like I try, I think that's a really, I don't want to be like, oh, it's so great. But it's a very pretty card and it's not hard to put together. You know, you don't have to do a whole lot extra for it to just stand on its own as a nice card. Like, I feel like it's not flat, as Brandy was sort of saying. I understood what she meant. So that's kind of what I try to do. And this, so people love this one so much, I'm thinking about doing like a stained glass series of cards. I just haven't, like I said, I am a slow creator. And like putting all this together, whew, that's a lot. That takes up all my time. And then doing summit videos, I'm slow on those too. It takes me personally a full week to do a video for a summit. So that's kind of, so, you know, if you follow me and you like me, you have to be a little patient with me as far as like getting designs. Like my resource library, I try to add to it every once in a while, but it's not huge or super built out just because I'm a slow designer, unfortunately. Sorry about that. All right, are we done? I think we should wrap it up. How long have we been going? Well, almost an hour. I guess it's not too bad. Any other questions? Anything else I can answer? I like, if you have paper questions about cutting paper, like cardstock on the Cricut, I can tell you a lot about that if you want to know, because I've done a lot of experimentation with cardstock. And since I designed this stuff that's like got these super thin lines, like I suggest, I'll just tell you, maybe you don't care, but to get that to cut correctly, you have to use 65-pound smooth cardstock. Anything heavier than that is not going to work. So that's where I do a lot of, usually my top layers have very thin lines to them. And so I always tell people, I'm probably an over-explainer in some of my videos. I suggest that you use 65-pound for anything that's intricate, delicate, got lots of curves or anything tricky that the blade has to do, because the blade has limitations to it. You can use 80 pound on some things, but I generally would say your best bet if you're doing something that's kind of intricate and delicate is to have all the layers on the front of your card be 65 pound and smooth as opposed to textured. Like a lot of the Cricut cards are, it's textured, and texture can also cause problems with your blade. So if you're doing intricate cuts, you gotta, please use smooth cardstock and that lighter weight. And then for your card base, use a heavier weight cardstock, because then that can hold up all those layers you're putting on. So I say 100 pounds or more. So 65 pound 176 GSM for anybody who's international, or 100 pounds or 300 pounds GSM is what I suggest for card bases. So as a card nerd, that is my advice. All right. I'm seeing, like, do you know if this engraving tool will work for scoring? I don't think so, because it's got kind of a pretty sharp little point on it. So I think it might tear the paper. Now, Emily, and I think Lucy too, in her video showed how to use the foiling tip in the Joy to score. It doesn't do a super deep score, so you kind of have to reinforce it a little bit, but that is a workaround for the Joy. And I got an adapter, like a pen adapter. It's a set of pen adapters that I got from a company on Etsy, where the scoring stylus fits into that. And so you can use the scoring stylus with the Joy, and that works fantastically. So if you really want to score, have a scoring ability with the Joy, that's the thing I suggest. And it wasn't too expensive, probably like $15 for the whole set. So then you can use all kinds of different pens in the Joy too. And I think I got that from the shop is called The Long Journey on Etsy, if anybody's interested. Okay, I'm seeing a few guys like, Aaron, I'm seeing some questions. Do you change your settings for the cuts much? Yes and no. So for the 65 pound cardstock that I'm talking about, where you're doing like these delicate cuts, I use cardstock for intricate cuts for the larger machines, and then on the Joy I use the medium cardstock setting. Even though the weight, what I'm telling you is what Cricut says is the light cardstock setting, I don't get a good cut all the way through on that setting, so that's why I put it on medium. And sometimes people think like, oh, the pressure's too high and that's why it's tearing. Sometimes the pressure's too low. Like often the pressure can be too low. And so increasing like the setting to the next highest pressure level, or using that little drop down menu where it's like, it just is on default, but you can also put it on more pressure or less pressure. That can help you with cuts where you're getting tearing and that kind of thing. Also, a very sticky mat is important for stuff like this, because you don't want the paper to start lifting away from the mat as it's being cut. It needs to be really stuck down well. Ruth is asking, when you have to add material, how do you know what numbers and pressures and stuff? Yeah, that's a good question. I actually have a materials and troubleshooting guide that I sell that it has the settings that I suggest for all kinds of, like there's a section for like papers and cardstock, there's a section for fabric, there's a section for vinyl, there's a section for specialty materials, and I cover all of the Cricut machines and the Scan and Cut DX machines, and then the Silhouette Cameo machines with that. It's a lot of, like what I was saying before, it's a lot of practice, unfortunately. Now, in many cases with the Cricut machines, the preset choices will often work, because I don't really use Cricut materials hardly at all, especially vinyls. I just don't use their vinyls. So usually like the glitter vinyl setting normally works with like Caesar glitter vinyl pretty well. So if you're really like, I'm not sure, go with whatever it seems like the closest. And again, you can always do like a little test cut, like put like a small shape into the canvas on Design Space, like a little heart or something, and just cut that out of your material to see, does it cut through? And that'll kind of give you, and try different settings. So you're not wasting a whole piece of vinyl cutting like a big project before you test it out. Hopefully that helps a little bit. And give yourself permission to make mistakes, because you're going to do it. And there are times that I think everything is set correctly and everything's good and I've got everything on the mat correctly, and it totally messes up. So that is just the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. Like, it's just inevitable that you're going to have stuff go wrong. So a way to learn that is just experimentation and just trying different materials. And so, like, if you know that you really like doing HTV, heat transfer vinyl, and iron-on projects, and you want to try, holographic and glitter and metallic, like chrome, as well as just regular or stretch, there's all these different kinds. Buy some, sometimes I can find discounted, like, ugly colors of vinyl, like in the Michael's clearance bin, or like if you have a local craft store that has a clearance area, buy some of the like really cheap, ugly colors that they've got in there, and then just try some stuff out. So, and then you don't care whether it doesn't work or it does. You can cut things that maybe you don't, do a standard shape or something. Like if you're going to do something that's kind of intricate, you could do like a star shape, make it really small, or, like say if you download my files, you can, from this summit, you could turn off the middles in the words, because the words come in 2 layers. So it's like the outline of the word and then the fill in the word. And you could just turn off the fill, and then those words are fairly like scrolly and somewhat intricate. And so then you could just like cut joy or whatever using 10 different pressure settings with one piece of ugly vinyl that you got on clearance from Michael's, and then keep a little ledger or something, or make a sheet on your computer or something where you can learn what works best on your machine for that type of vinyl. And then chances are, no matter what the brand is, that setting will probably still work, because there isn't that much variation between 65-pound smooth Recollections cardstock versus Concord and Ninth or something, or Caesar glitter vinyl versus Cricut glitter vinyl versus Starcraft glitter vinyl. Like, there's kind of a consistency across all manufacturers. So you at least have a good starting point. And I know it sounds boring, because it's like, well, I don't want to spend 10 hours like cutting out stars. But I would say, before, if you're newer and you want to cut out something that's kind of important or like more intricate, like you want to make a t-shirt or something, and you don't want to waste an entire like 12 by 12 piece of vinyl cutting that whole thing out on the wrong setting. So that's where I would say, like, get a word that has a similar like level if you're using words on a shirt or something, and then cut do some experimenting on settings till you get it right. And I hope that makes sense. And have fun. You got to play. You got to give yourself permission to play and just like have fun and let yourself screw up. I used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Like, weren't we all Stampin' Up! Demonstrators? I swear. And I would always get frustrated with people who were in my classes because they were so afraid to make a mistake. And you gotta let yourself go. You gotta just not care and make the mistakes. Because sometimes mistakes turn out great. Like, sometimes you can make a mistake and you think it's ruined, and then kind of forces you to think in a different way, and then you turn it into something amazing. Or maybe it's a horrible mistake and you just have to toss it and move on, but you've learned something about whatever the technique was that you were doing, or the pressure you were using, or that kind of thing. So I try to encourage people to be willing to let go of their perfectionism and just have fun. It's a little bit ironic because I myself am an extreme perfectionist, but I'm working on it. I am working on it. So that's, you probably guys are getting like way more information about me than you ever really wanted. Linda, been thinking about holders for the engraving. Will the Joy cut a holder in heavy cardstock and then use this for the blank? I guess I'm not entirely sure what you mean by a holder. Like, are you thinking like you would somehow like be able to stick like some kind of cardstock, like a cup or something, to hold a piece on the mat? Because that's not going to work in the Joy, unfortunately. The clearance on the Joy is really low. The thickest thing you can get through the Joy to engrave is 1 millimeter. Very thin. So I just have these here from my previous live stream, like these standard acrylic ornaments that you can get. Those are too thick. So let me get it so you can see it. Those are too thick for the Joy. So you can engrave, the thickest that you can do is this. So that's 1 millimeter. So you wouldn't be able to really lift something off the mat and engrave it in any way in the Joy. And I'll grab the machine here. Because if you look in there, anything that you're engraving has to go under this bar. And there is not a lot of clearance under that bar. There's 1 millimeter of clearance under that bar. So that's where you're limited on the engraving with the Joy. So hopefully that answers your question. Add washi tape to hold things out. I do that all the time. I use washi tape all the time. Or like low tack tape. The only time that doesn't work for me is when my mat's not very sticky in the middle too, and I'm doing some kind of intricate cut, and like I was saying earlier, and the paper starts to pull away from the mat as the cutting is going on, because the washi tape's holding down the outside, but it's not holding down the middle. So that's the only time it doesn't really work for me. I almost always use some kind of low tack tape, even on, well, not brand new mats, but mats that I've had for a little while. And I hope you guys know that you can re-stick your mats. And you can re-stick your card mat too. You do not have to toss that because those lose their stick pretty fast. So I'm a big fan of the Zig 2A glue pen, and I use that to re-stick all of my machine mats all the time. And I did a video on that not too long ago. I think my most recent video was on re-sticking the card mat using that. So definitely do that. Yeah, I use painter's tape too, Bethany. I've seen that. Painter's tape and washi tape are like my go-tos as far as holding things down on the mat. And with the engraving, as you hopefully saw in the presentation, like I used a whole lot of painter's tape to hold those metal ornaments down. And I'll tell you, you get a lot of these ornaments in this package. I could not find a smaller amount of ornaments than this at the 2-inch round size. And that was the biggest I could find as far as an ornament goes. Because I didn't want to go too small, because with the engraving, that takes a lot longer. And it's just, you can't really see it on your tree. So I wanted something bigger. I mean, I was trying to find something like this size, but I just could not find anything that size. I'm going to try, as I mentioned in my live stream earlier today, I'm going to try to find some 1 millimeter acrylic. And if I can't, like maybe even just sheets. And then I'm going to see if I can engrave it and then cut it potentially. So that's my next play attempt, I guess, as far as learning how to work with a new material. Just gonna mess around with it. Okay, well, I see Debbie saying those would make great. They would make great keychains. The little 2-inch circles would work really well for that. And somebody asked earlier in the Facebook group, like, isn't there any smaller quantity? No, but like if you've got some crafty friends that you could split the package with, like that would work. Because these are more like metal discs that I'm ever gonna need. But and they would also make good like pendants potentially too. You could engrave a pattern on that. And I have the Impress Art. I don't know if you've heard of this. Oh shoot, I don't know where it went. Impress Art is like a company that they do make a lot of stamping blanks. So where you take and then they have like designs on metal, like rods kind of. And so you put those down on the blank and then you hammer it to create this, to put the design into the metal. And of course I'm old, so I'm losing my train of thought. What was my point? Oh, they have like a kit for crystal settings. So I will take and like engrave something on like the ornaments. You can engrave those with your Joy and then use their little crystal setting set to set some crystals onto and turn it into like a fun pendant, like a birthstone pendant or something like that with maybe a name. I was going to make some bracelets for my nieces with their names and their birthstones. That's why I was trying this guy, and that's how I discovered that this does fit through, but nothing bigger than that does. So there's my suggestion for ways to dress up your engraving if you want to add like extra stuff and make it more decorative for jewelry kinds of looks or keychains. And my nose is running. I have terrible allergies. Yeah, and pet tags. I see someone mentioning that. Could you please repeat the name of the glue used to restick your mats? Sure. It is the Zig 2-way glue pen. And you want the broad tip. So it's 2-way because it's when you first put it down, it's blue. And if you press things together while it's blue and wet, it's permanent. It's a permanent bond. But you can let it dry and then it's a repositionable bond. So that's how you can add stickiness to your mat again. And sometimes you just have to make sure you do a really thin coat because you don't want to get it too sticky, and that can happen. And if your mat gets too sticky, then I always suggest press it against a t-shirt or something, kind of Shelly talked about that a little bit in her live stream, to take some of the stick off. So paper isn't going to tear on it or something like that. Well, the creative black sheep. Gina, I like this idea. This is in the comments for a new name. I'm going to look that one up. That might be cool. That could work. Very nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to see if that works. Maybe. That's cool. Somebody's probably already thought of that though, unfortunately. But hey, I'm gonna check it out. It's kind of like, well, actually, creative was already gone, so I was sad. All right, I think we've had I've had fun giving you guys all my random thoughts. Hope you don't mind. I've had fun this weekend, despite. Well, okay, I didn't have so much fun on Friday. Friday was kind of a nightmare for me. But the rest of the time, I've had a great time talking to you guys on the live streams, looking at people's projects in the Facebook group, and getting to know some of you. And it's just been a lot of fun. And I'm very happy that for the most part, you guys were very pleased with the summit, and that you want to have another one. So we're gonna do that. Going to have another Cricut Joy Summit next year, and I'm going to try to put together one with multiple machines too. and I will be looking through the comments to see your name suggestions for me, and I will probably put a poll in the Facebook group if I remember to do that. I gotta write it down, or I'm gonna forget. It's tough when you get past 50. It's a little tough, people. Anybody who's younger than that, I'm just telling you, you got something to look forward to. You don't realize it until you're there. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go. I'm tired. It's been like a really fun, but tiring whole weekend. So I got stuff I got to get ready for next Saturday, for example. So I need to take a rest and like sit down for a minute because I feel like I haven't sat. Well, I mean, I have been sitting, but I mean like sit down, relax, not check the help desk for like an extended period of time. So thanks, you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Couldn't do this without you. So keep in touch, and I will see you next Saturday for sure. So have a good evening and have a great week. Thank you so much. Happy holidays in July.